One of the biggest things that you can do in backdooring your budget is reframing it. Okay? When you're reframing your budget, that just means that you're saying, you know what? How do I want my cash to flow? What do you mean? How do I want it to cash flow? Well, that shifts you from a place of, I can't do what I want with my life to, oh, I actually get to choose that. Now, many of you will sit out there and go, well, I can't control inflation. I can't control the political environment. I can't control the pandemic. I can't control la 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 la. Whatever that story is that you're telling yourself, I want you to step into the story that you choose as opposed to the story that you are choosing to be victim of. Because it is all about choice. Everybody, Julie Murphy here, and we are going to talk today about how do you backdoor your budget, right? Any of you that have watched me, you know that I do not like the word budget whatsoever because it comes from a place of not being empowered. So don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell because I'm going to help you get to a life that you absolutely love. And one way that we can do that is by backdooring your budget. So what do I mean by that? So when I talk about backdooring your budget, it's because of the fact that we need to make sure that we continue to help you move forward. But I also need to make sure that you're holding a safe container for yourself. What in the heck does that mean when it comes to finance? Well, what it means is the fact that many of you who are not good, or I don't even want to say the word good, don't care to monitor your expenses. Super easy to do today, right? Like we slide our credit cards, we slide our debit cards, and we don't really internalize what it is that we spend. We absolutely will do something very different with our money if we hand over a $100 bill or 100 euros or 100 pesos, whatever it is, Canadian dollars, wherever you are from around the world. And it's different if we're sliding a card. There is something about sliding the card where it doesn't drop into our system. It doesn't trigger our emotional body. It just doesn't. So, if you're the type of person when it comes to your budget that with your cash going in your checking account and then cash coming out, and you don't really like to write it all down or track it, and it's this thing that you keep blaming and shaming and judging yourself on. It's like, I need to get a handle on that. I know I need to do that. Well, know that shame, blame, guilt, and judgment that is coming up around your budget really actually has nothing to do with your budget. It's about something else from your childhood that is trying to come up, and it's manifesting itself in the form of your cash flows and how you spend your money and how you allocate your money. So I want us to be more aware of how we're using our verbiage, because if you say the word budget, a budget naturally makes somebody feel like I'm in a locked container and I can't live the life that I want to live. That doesn't feel good to anybody. Nobody I know feels good about having to go on a budget. So I want you to reframe that. So one of the biggest things that you can do in backdooring your budget is reframing it. Okay? When you're reframing your budget, that just means that you're saying, you know what? How do I want my cash to flow? What do you mean? How do I want it to cash flow? Well, that shifts you from a place of, I can't do what I want with my life to, oh, I actually get to choose that. Now, many of you will sit out there and go, well, I can't control inflation. I can't control the political environment. I can't control the pandemic. I can't control la 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 la. Whatever that story is that you're telling yourself, I want you to step into the story that you choose as opposed to the story that you are choosing to be victim of. Because it is all about choice. No matter what your situation is. I was always floored by this early on in my career. One of the things that I watched happen over and over again with people is that, they couldn't save more money for their retirement in their 20s and their 30s. I can't do nothing for my kids' education. Life is but then all of a sudden you need to buy a house or you're getting married, two big purchase events, you find the money every single time. Why is that? Because you stepped into your power. You stepped into, ooh, this makes my heart sing. And I'm going to make different choices to make that happen, as opposed to be on autopilot with the sliding of the cards and the checks getting deposited straight in my checking account. It's going in, it's going out. And I'm not even paying attention where it's going, how it's going. This is what happens. We're on autopilot. And in autopilot, we don't necessarily choose our lives. So you backdoor your budget by saying, you know what? I'm just going to own the fact that I am not that person that's ever going to write down month to month where I want my money to go. Like, it's just not who I am. It's not what I'm going to do. It's just not going to be what's going to happen. And the reason I say that is I worked with a client over the last few weeks, and it reminded me of this backdooring approach. Probably worked with this person for 7-8 years. And it's always the story. I know I should get better at my spending. I know I should pay attention to that. I know. Well, okay, here's what I know. You're never going to do it. Why? Because you naturally don't want to. It's not something that makes you feel expansive. It's not something that's going to make you step into that. So, if that is your truth, then let's backdoor it. So what we decided to do is saying, why don't we do this? What if we make sure we don't build up debt? Because remember, debt is another way that we choose a lack of freedom and we plug into more scarcity, because that means a bank is controlling your life as opposed to you controlling your life. So debt's its own. And I got plenty of videos about strategies and how to reduce your debt and gain your freedom. Is the awareness good to know where your money's going? Absolutely. I think the best part about writing down where your cash is coming in and the cash is coming out, that just brings awareness. It's not about judgment. It's not about shame. It's not about blame. It's just about awareness. And if we can come from that place of neutrality where, okay, now I'm aware where my money's going. Now choose, where do you want it to go? And so for this person, it was less of a burden and created a safe container for him to just have us reduce what we were given him monthly in terms of cash flow to spend. Because the thing that this client is really great at, this client is really, really good at making sure that they don't create credit card debt on a month-to-month basis. They choose different spending choices because they don't like credit card debt mounting. They've done that game and they don't want to do that game anymore. I go, tell me what's going on in your body. And I have other videos where I talk about this. Your body intelligence. Your body is way smarter than your mind, giving you the hints as to how to operate. And so there's still a little pause. I go, oh, that's okay. I said, what if I said $400 a month? And they go, that's fairly easy. And I go, what is your body doing? And that's when I saw the shoulders go like this. I go, 400 a month is. So we're starting next month, taking money from, so the paycheck is automatically depositing into the checking account. And then we're pulling 400 a month to this other backup to his cash and savings accounts. And you got to choose for your own well-being and what that is. But if you do want help with this, you could certainly send an email to info@jmcwealth.com. And one of the advisors on my team could certainly help you through that if you want to do just a consulting appointment to work through that. And we can turn around and not live on $5,000, but now we're going to do $4,600, and we're going to see how that now works over the next 3 months. And this is just about just how you adjust to getting pay raises. Now, don't think of this as a pay decrease. This is about you stepping into, we're going to carve and shave some money off the table so that I get used to spending at a lower amount on a per month basis while I'm stacking up some cash so that I can unplug from this job over to this job because there might be a pay differential, and then creating more of a life that I love because I love and more passionate about the work that I do. What I've learned over time is that usually they don't have a problem because we paid attention what was going on in their body. We didn't hijack their nervous system, making too nervous to anxiety. And then because when that happens, you go down your conditioning and you start going down all your patterning and the shame, the blame, the guilt. And then it's this never ending cycle of suffering. I've never had anybody, when they trust their body intelligence, do they want to go from the 500 down or 400 down? It's usually if you trust your body and you trust your knowing, you're going to come up with the right answer and it's going to be an adjustment, no problem. It's when we start to push. When you put that energetic push and striving and I can do this. No, because then that creates cortisol in your system and it starts to get you to tense up and contract. And that actually blocks things from coming to you. New jobs, new relationships, the promotions, the new, everything that you desire cannot come to you with a hijacked nervous system with cortisol shooting through your system. So this is why we either work things out or we act it out, and we do it through our health, through our money, and through our relationships. So hope that tip was very helpful today. And by all means, go to juliemurphy.com. I am going to be launching a new group session coming every quarter. I'm going to start a new session with new people. So if you get there at juliemurphy.com and just sign up for our newsletter list, you'll be notified then when that happens. And you can also go to awakenyourwealthbook.com, give my book away for free. And you just have to pay for your own shipping. And have the greatest day ever. And we'll talk soon.